just send down this poem. So I chose this image because, as we say in poetry, it was my way into the poem. It There's something very intimate, personal, and sort of about shoes and footwear, these sandals in this case. And it just started me imagining, like, who wore these? Like, suddenly, this artifact brought the whole exhibit of real people's lives and what these objects meant, right? Because these objects, in and of themselves, don't mean anything unless it's really the stories that come with it, right? And so I began to walk in the shoes of all these artifacts in some ways. But more than that, I started to imagine, in some ways, connect that piece to my own sort of imaginary migration. And like, what if I were one of these people, one of these stories behind these artifacts, or what if hundreds of or years from now, um, what would what would be kept sort of in the exhibit? It's very poetic, but think about what I would take on that journey, what would be left behind, and how would my life be, um, or my journey or my own migration sort of be exhibited, so to speak, both literally and literally. And then we'll take questions, right? A little bit for this. So it's called Imaginary Migrations. Though I can't hold or comfort the hands that once held these urns with their sons' or mothers' ashes, nor behold the love in the eyes of the eyes that once beheld these vases abloom with roses, though I can't drink the cascade of water or wine never poured for me from the mouths of these pitchers, nor kiss the lips that kiss these teacups, only savor the emptiness of these empty plates and hollow bowls with swirls of glazed flowers gazing back at me now. Though I can't chart the dreams once dreamed underneath the geometry of these blankets, nor caress the shoulders that donned these silk robes like butterflies' wings fleeting into the sun. Though I can't alight myself to some other time, nor trace the footprints of lives erased from these rugs. Though I can't wear these tattered sandals, or see the souls who wore them down, these souls on their journeys, I can still imagine them, as I imagine myself, like them, someday having to maybe cross continents to dodge dying in the crossfire of revolution, or board a ship to save my genes from genocide, or thrash through raging whitewater to calm my ache of famine into a land of plenty and promise. Imagine what I'd take, not just to keep me alive, but to keep my life alive, my salt, my spices, to taste who it was I am. A handful of seeds to plant my favorite fruit, take root, claim some new earth. My dead father's watch still ticking with his life. My favorite coffee mug to watch my ghost rise in its steam. Imagine what I don't know I'll need as much as I will. My journal bookmarked by a petal between the last scribble of who I was and blank pages of who I will be. The doorknob I'll never turn again. A photo album my eyes will turn to greet lost faces. Imagine what only my mind could pack. My wind chimes, giggles, train whistles, a neighbor dog's yowls, the purr of night winds through my garden, or a breath of the winds I breathed, the dust of my footsteps that might have blanketed my bones asleep, the altar of mountains my eyes will never praise again, memories of clouds I've told my secrets to. Imagine how I'd scatter them into a new sky, transform the beauty of loss and the loss of beauty into the art of a new life, the sweet arias of rain recomposed over a new rooftop, the stars I'd redraw into the constellation that guided me to my new elsewhere. Imagine the moon in the ear of some new window, whispering the poems I'd write to render myself at home again in a new house of new words that someday someone might read and imagine the story of their migration from my own migration. Thank you, everyone.